Welcome to Charred Oak, the business, bourbon, and becoming podcast where bold ideas meet smooth pours. Hosted by entrepreneurs Matt Charred and Shane Tice. This is your needed pour of inspiration, insight, and a splash of something strong. Each episode, Matt and Shane dive deep into the world of business, growth, and entrepreneurship, sharing real stories, practical strategies, and the mindset shifts that fuel success. Whether you're building your empire or just getting started, this is your space to learn, grow, and become. And of course, no episode is complete without the Bourbon of the Week, a curated tasting and review that pairs perfectly with ambition. So, pour a glass, pull up a seat, and let's build something great, one sip at a time.
And we're back. I'm your host, Matt Charred from Downrange Firearms.
The pressure's on. I'm your co-host, Shane Tice from 926 Crafted Apparel. See, I got it right.
How many times did you have to think about that before you got it straight?
A lot. It's different.
Good. All right. Very excited. Our next guest, you have a bunch of good stuff to talk about today. Ashley, I will let you introduce yourself.
I am Ashley Patrick. I own AP Massage Therapy, and I also am the founder of the Small Business Bingo fundraisers.
Thank you for putting up with our shenanigans, and
Yeah.
emphasis is on shenanigans for this evening. Let's see, to get the ball rolling, what did you make us?
Well, in traditional fall timing, it is
Fashion.
not pumpkin latte or pumpkin spice. It is
I'm not a very good basic
Honey
girl.
Crisp apple cider old fashioned with Whiskey Acres straight barrel bourbon.
Interesting.
It's different.
I don't know what to do with this yet. Other than the hangover tomorrow is going to hurt.
It's not bad. 6 ounces of cider, 2 ounces of bourbon, a cinnamon stick, and 2 shakes of chocolate bitters.
You know, an extra shot of the chocolate bitters would probably actually tone that down a notch.
I still think it's a cinnamon stick.
It's not that sweet to me. It's just too, I don't know. I think the chocolate would take a little of the edge off. It is definitely different. Mm-hmm. I don't dislike it. I actually think I would prefer this in June.
I'm thinking.
July.
I'm thinking.
An all-season drink, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
6 ounces of bourbon and 2 ounces of apple cider
In.
might be the solve.
I am sold.
Better balance.
Better balance. All right. With that being said, so you are obviously the boss babe for AP Massage Therapy. So where did this start for you? When did you decide massage therapy is the route I want to go? And what did that look like, and how did that develop to where you are now?
So initially, I had a different career path. I actually started with criminal justice and realized quickly that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I didn't have the same passion for it that I did when I started. So I had no backup plan. That was my only plan. That was the only thing I wanted to do, and just was kind of looking for something else that might spark my interest to be able to do. So I kind of fell into massage therapy. It was something that they had an intro program for at Kish, and it sounded interesting to me. I've always been really interested in the medical field. Anatomy and physiology is what I nerd out about. So it kind of makes sense to me to go into something like that. I didn't know how I felt about full-blown healthcare, so it felt like a good place to start. So I took the intro class, and I just really fell in love with it. So I signed up for the program. And 16 years later, here I am. So I graduated in 2009, so I'm coming up on 16 years in December, which is a very long time in my career field. I feel like a lot of people don't do massage therapy as long as I have. There are a handful of us that do stick it out, but it's so physically tolling on your body that I think so many people just do it as a side job, or they do it just short term. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm hoping to still have quite a few good years left in me, but I just really fell in love with the program and enjoyed massage therapy and what it brought to my clients, from helping them through injuries or just stress-related things. They just want to come in, they want to relax. But I really like to stay more focused on the medical side of it. I have the most training in that field and continuing education, that I like to be able to take someone that's having an issue or a problem and help them work through that and help see them make progress and gain back range of motion or be pain-free, things like that. Versus I do have some clients that come in and just want to relax and they're looking for more spa-like services, which I do offer. But I much prefer to kind of have a challenge and help people overcome that. So.
Okay, I've got so many questions from this one so far then.
Yeah.
Let's start with this one because this is the most interesting to me right now. You mentioned that a lot of them don't do it because it is physically taxing. How many busted body parts do you have currently?
2 bad shoulders, but here we are. My rotator cuffs are not great, but I do not need to lift my arms over my head to do massage therapy, so we are golden.
How about it's tendonitis is typically?
Like carpal tunnel, tendonitis, arthritis, like anything like that. I feel like most people think about that, like your hands, your wrists, which is what we do use mostly, but it just takes a toll on you physically overall. Like I do have a lot of deep tissue clients, so I feel like you're using your body mechanics in ways to get more leverage or to apply more pressure and different things. And obviously I'm not a very big person, so it's like I really have to lean in and put a lot into that to get enough pressure for some of those clients that prefer that. So I feel like you're on your feet all day. It really is a more physical job than I think some people realize, for sure.
So then how are your wrists doing?
I feel like they're good. Yeah, not too
I've
bad.
never heard you say anything about that. Your shoulders are comically screwed up.
Yeah, but that's related to other things, not necessarily a massage. So.
Whatever. She beats people on the weekend. It's Fight Club AP style.
Yeah.
Thumb wrestling champion.
Yeah.
I probably could be. I feel like maybe not win arm wrestling, but I could probably beat anybody in thumb wrestling.
She's got the forearm chops to just be like, I love everything about this. So the education side, let's get into that, especially if anybody is paying attention that's interested in this or considering or looking for, like you said, almost in your same situation where they're looking for an alternative that they need to get into that would be okay for them. Education, what were you required to start with? What's required to continue? And I'm throwing too much at you one time so we can cover this again here. And then what would you recommend is a good amount of education to have? Because I know there's a minimum requirement that you have to have with like ongoing Cs and all that good jazz. But I know going above and beyond with your personal certifications. How do you recommend that, et cetera? So let's just start at the beginning with what's the basic credentialing process look like to get into that field?
So a lot of the programs have grown. When I was going, they still only put small groups through, but the program has definitely changed a lot. I feel like in service industry in general, they've really streamlined the programs as far as like massage therapy, aesthetics, hair, things like that. I think they want to make it more desirable and they want people to get through the programs a little faster, and they really are leaving it on them to continue a lot of that education outside of the program versus putting so much into that. I've really personally seen a change in maybe the last 5 to 6 years in other therapists I know, and the difference in the education that I had received versus what they're offering now in the classes. I went for 18 months, which is what the program was at the time. I believe don't quote me on this, but I believe it's around like 8 to 10 months now. It's a pretty fast program. But I also took cadaver anatomy with nursing students. They no longer do that. I took a pharmacology class, which I believe is no longer part of the program because massage and medications can affect each other. I don't think people think about that dynamic either. And I took so many classes that probably weren't related to massage. Like I took a computer class, we took a business class, almost like your regular classes you would take for like your associates. So even though it's a certificate program. So now I think they've cut a lot of those things out. Kishwaukee has a great program for massage. There's other schools that have started opening up their own programs because they only accept such a small group at a time. Sometimes there can be quite a wait list. And I think the massage therapy field has grown so much. It's a lot more accepted by like chiropractors or medical doctors, things like that. It goes really well with physical therapy. And I think not only consumers and clients are realizing that, but I think we're being more respected in the medical field and seen as something that's a little bit more than like a spa-like or a nice thing to do for yourself. So there is a bigger need for massage therapy. So they're really trying to grow the programs and making it more appealing for people to want to sign up and be part of that. So the program itself is fairly short because it is a certificate program. And then after you finish, you go through, taking your state boards, your licensure, all that good jazz. And as long as you pass all of that and meet all the standards, then you're able to, start working in your field. You do have to, we re-license every 2 years. With ours, we renew and we have to turn in our continuing education. So depending on which state you live in Illinois, we have to have 24 credits of continuing education, and those are regulated as to what we are required to take. So we have to have so many hours in ethics and in other topics, and then we have kind of what I call like leftover credits that are left to us to take of something that we're interested in. So you could learn a new modality of massage, or you could further your education on certain topics or certain injuries specifically that a lot of people have. You could get into all sorts of different things with that. So I do go above and beyond with my continuing education because I feel like there is really no good amount of education you can have. Like, I feel like there should be no limit on that. If I have the time and the availability, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it because I feel like that just helps me help my clientele more. It's more tools in my toolbox to be able to help them or learn about a condition before I have someone that has it. Or if I have someone that has a specific thing, I'll go out and find a class or a specific specialty for that. And I'm always willing to try to just improve on how I can help my clients.
Do you see that as a typical thing in the industry? And this is not a throw on anybody on the bus. There's different mentalities in this. But do you
I
see
would
that as
definitely
typical,
say
or?
Because of the cost and the time it takes to get them, most people, I feel like, really just meet the minimum requirements. They try to fit in what they want to do into the credits that we need to have.
Okay.
So, say we need to have, the 24 credits and somebody's getting really close, they need a few more. They might take a class that's going to bump them over that a little bit because of how many credit hours it's worth. But I feel like most people kind of stick within that because it is very costly. And some things are a lot more expensive and a lot longer certifications than others because we have to physically be in a classroom for at least half of our credit hours. And then we're allowed to take so many online classes that are maybe a Zoom or a webinar or things like that. But most of our hours have to be in classroom in person with instructors, which is a little different than some of the other service industry and how they get their credit hours for their licensure.
That makes sense. And then from what you've seen industry-wide, sorry, I'm going off shtick here just because this is the direction it's popped into my head. Have you seen a lot of people formalize it by creating a business like you have, or do a lot of them do it more cash-based, under the table? They maintain, they just do the licensure versus getting a formal space and doing things that way?
I feel like it's definitely, there are some people out there that maybe just go through getting certified and they don't go through the full licensure and all that, and they just kind of do it as a side gig. But I feel like it's definitely more popular to honestly work for someone else in our industry. Chiropractors are a big one, or in a physical therapy office. There are opportunities to work for hospice. So many different things that you can just work almost like a 9 to 5, right? You can clock in, you do your job, you go home. I've worked in those settings in the past, but I think it's becoming more and more appealing to work on your own because at the end of the day, I don't work a 9 to 5 because I have to pay for my insurance. I have to pay for, my classes. I have to pay for my licensure fees. All the cost that's behind the scenes that comes with being a service-based business is not something you have when you clock in and clock out and go home at the end of the day. And a lot of times in those settings, you're not making the same amount of money because they're providing a lot of those things for you, but you have an opportunity to make more money. And if you're spending that much money out of your pocket to have that certification and that licensure anyway, you might as well be making more money doing your own thing because there's definitely a need for it and there is a market there for it. You just have to find a space that fits your needs and what you're comfortable, how much or how little you want to work, because when you work for someone else, the expectation is there of certain days, certain hours, so many clients a day, a week, whatever. And when you work on your own, you can dial that in however you want to dial that in, which is a good advantage.
Okay, that makes sense. So for you, in your becoming who you are within that industry, especially in the area, where did you start? What did that look like? To how did you create AP as an independent business, and where are you today in comparison to that?
Yeah, I've definitely
Because you've evolved a ton.
Grown a lot, changed a lot. A lot of that's definitely come from my past experiences. Like, I worked with a doctor in a chiropractor office the first 4 years of my career, which I loved, but I was an employee, and it was a great experience. That's where I wanted to be. That's definitely my wheelhouse. It was very fast paced, and I was just realizing that at the pace I was going at and the expectation, and the client load that we had, that I wasn't going to be able to do that long term. And there was things I wanted to be able to do that I couldn't do because it's not, my business. I'm an employee of that business. So then I decided to take a little bit of a break. And in that time, I was actually recruited by another business to come work for them that had an established massage therapy clientele, that had someone that was leaving and retiring, or only going to be able to be there part-time during that transition. So they were needing to fill that gap. And then I worked in that setting for about 4 years. And I learned a lot about business dynamics in that as well, because I was also an employee, but I got to see a lot of behind the scenes of like how they ran their business. They had all kinds of different things that they offered. So it was just nice to see that dynamic, because I'm not a business person. I am now. I've had to learn to be a business person, and I feel like I've kind of had to learn it on the fly, but some of that has come from experiencing that in my past jobs. And then I worked in a salon for 5 years, which I loved very much, because I got to be more independent just as a contractor, but I still didn't get to do my own thing because I'm under one business name with everyone else, and we kind of have our own set days, times, hours, things that are expected of us, which is absolutely reasonable considering as a business owner myself, I work by myself because I have very high expectations that I don't want to put on anyone else, to be perfectly honest. So
AP doesn't play well with others.
I took a lot from the places that I've worked in the past. So
Not
I
sure
feel
she
like
works well with everybody, by the way.
I do work well with people.
Worked with me
As
for
long as you do it
years.
her way.
I put yes, exactly. I don't
My
try to
staff is
hide
her
it.
staff. We'll put it that way.
But I feel like each place I worked really helped put the puzzle pieces together for me to be able to feel comfortable, and that I had the knowledge to be able to go out on my own. My goal was always to be independent at some point in my life, and I just kind of realized that, hey, I've been doing this for 12 years, and that's a long time to be doing this in the first place, when some people don't even make it this far in this career field. But if I don't feel like I make that change now, I'm probably never going to see that opportunity, because then I'm going to be closer to looking at like retirement. I mean, you never know how long you're going to be able to do something like this until I physically feel like I can't, is kind of my goal. But I wanted to at least try and be able to know that I did get to be independent for a small portion of my career, because I've definitely spent more of my career being an employee than I'm ever going to spend being independent. But I just kind of decided to take a leap of faith and open my own space and do my own thing. And I really, my business really boomed during that, because I felt like when I had all of the other restrictions kind of taken off of me, and it's not that there was anything bad, it was just that I was with other people's businesses and how they ran their businesses. And I really think that I just think differently and do things differently in my business and the way that I run things, and it's just what works for me specifically, that I just wasn't allowed to do those things where I was at before. And that completely contributed to why I'm having the success I'm experiencing, because I'm able to work whatever days, whatever hours, go out and do public events, start my own fundraisers, like just all the crazy ideas and all the things I have. Like, there's nothing or anyone holding me back from anything I want to do, except myself. So I just have had to learn to kind of put myself out there and have the confidence just to do what I want to do with my business. And it's really helped me gain the clientele that I have, for sure.
I've noticed that, especially with you're allowed to focus on your craft. Because like you said, there's nothing wrong with the other businesses. Their focus is on the business as a whole.
Yeah.
It's not on massage therapy specifically. So all the money that they put into marketing, or the efforts they put into marketing, from a holistic standpoint for that entire business, not one specific element. With yours, you can focus 100% on the massage therapy and coordinate, and instead of having to focus on the whole big picture of 3 different aspects or 5 different aspects that are all involved in one company, say the salon, for example, you can focus on yours. And then when you do partner up with other organizations, because you've done a ton of group setting involved things, your women's events and stuff like that, and you can touch on that if you want to. You're coordinating with all those other services in that environment, and in that one unique way, what would have sort of held you back in the salon environment is actually a growth opportunity, because now you're bringing these other services independently, and you're using their already established markets that might not be your typical market or day-to-day market, and then bring them all into that one setting. Because like you said, you prefer more the medicinal side, and a lot of those are a lot more the spa, treat yourself.
Yeah, for
side.
sure. I feel like without being able to just kind of do whatever I want, it definitely held me back from a few things. And like I said, it's not that there was anything with those particular businesses that I disliked, because I've really enjoyed each and every setting that I've worked in. And if it wasn't for the fact that my goal was always to be independent, some people just like working somewhere and they're just comfortable there and they just ride it out, you know. But I just really like to push the boundaries and push the limits on what I can do. And I love to collaborate. I will collaborate with just about anyone. I like to try to figure out how I can put massage therapy with the most random things, like a gun shop or, you know, anything. It's just, I feel like because massage is something that can help anyone, even though I'm a little biased, I feel like everyone can use a massage. Like I can set my chair massage up. Yeah, that's okay. You know, I can set my massage chair up in someone's business and I can do chair massage for their employees. Maybe it's not for their customers, or I can go set up and do chair massage at their ribbon cuttings. I've done that for a lot of the businesses in town, just to be able to help offer my services and be able to help maybe draw a crowd, because I am very, very fortunate and blessed to have the business that I have. Like I very well could just mind my own business and be successful, but that's not really like my main goal. You know, my goal is to be successful, but to also see my community thrive and be successful. I want to be able to be accessible to my clients. I want to be able to have the services that they need. I want to be able to help my fellow business, you know, owners, and be able to help them be successful, because I feel like collaborating and networking with everyone and bringing everyone together is what's really important, because that's how everyone's going to be successful. Because when my clients are leaving town because they don't like, you know, they want to find somewhere else to eat, or they want somewhere else to shop, or they want somewhere else to go for whatever thing they're looking for, then they're probably also going to get services while they're out of the area. You know, like maybe not a haircut, because I feel like people are so specific about who does their hair. I very well am one of those particular people, but
Me too.
at the same time, you know, like something like a massage is something that
Scissors will travel.
something like a massage, there is definitely options no matter where you go. If you're going to go in the suburbs and you're going to go shopping or whatever, you could probably go find somewhere to get a massage for the day, you know. But I feel like as far as like the regular clientele or what people are looking for, like I have people that come on their lunch break. I have people that come before or after work, because I'm right here, I'm in the area, and it's just more convenient, you know. So I want to be able to keep our customer base and our client base in our own community, because I'm very much about shopping local and supporting local and helping the other businesses, because I'm a small local business myself. And I think it definitely goes beyond just being in your own element and being your own business and just kind of staying there. And if that's all you know, then that's all you know. But I think it's great to reach out to their businesses and try to figure out how you can help each other or collaborate and work together in that sense, because that helps everyone be able to be successful.
Oh, I've got a fun project for you.
I don't know if I can take on any more projects, but we shall see.
I promise it won't be that bad. We'll talk after camera, because sucks to be you. You don't get to hear about it yet.
It's a secret.
It is a secret. It's going to be great, though. I'm excited for it. You know bits and pieces of it already, so. He doesn't know that he knows,
details.
but he knows.
Oh.
There it is.
Now I'm going to
Sorry.
be thinking about it.
I'm
I'm
slow
wondering
today.
about it now.
It's going to be a good one, I promise. Biggest challenges for you? Getting the ball rolling when you finally broke off and went independent. What was like the biggest thing that you're like, oh crap, this part sucks?
Not really a bad problem to have, but honestly, like finding the balance, because from day one of opening my own business, I have been booked. Like it's been almost 4 years. I like to say I'm riding the wave. I'm waiting for it to like kind of crest and come over the other direction. And it hasn't. And I mean, that's a wonderful problem to have, but definitely like I've got 1,000 things going at any given time. I've got kids, I've got a family. Obviously they have to come first. That's why I'm self-employed. That's why I have my own business. But at the same time, you're trying to be successful in your business. So you do have to hustle and hit the pavement and get out there and sometimes sacrifice things and put in all the hours. But then you have to be able to dial it back when you feel like you can smooth things over. I've finally, my youngest is school age, so now I have more daytime hours during the week. My weekends still stay full, which is a great problem for me to have. But I have more hours now, so I'm able to kind of balance it out a bit, kind of condense that schedule a little bit, and then have like my afternoons off, or if I'm off this morning, then I'm working this evening instead, and kind of really finally being able to find the balance now, almost 4 years later. But that was my biggest challenge going into it, because you want to be able to find the time and know what works for people. Like, what hours should I be open? Because like I said, I'm not a business person. So when can people come for my services? Obviously, people that can afford to pay for services are most likely working during the day, during the week hours, when that's when I'm trying to work, right?
No.
So I do work pretty much every weekend. I don't mind to do that because, you know, I don't really care about going out and doing a lot of things on the weekends. So it's like I balance it out with whatever my family has going on. But, you know, I work pretty much every Friday or Saturday, and I work pretty late hours during the week because I want people to be able to come when they can come. And I really pride myself in being accessible because, you know, where can you go that's open after 3 p.m. on a Saturday? Hardly anywhere, honestly, especially for services. Or, you know, I have clients that come at 6:30 at night on a Friday night because they get off work at 6 and then they come straight over. It's like, where are you going to go get an hour massage at 6:30 on a Friday? Well, I'm crazy enough to be like, here I am. So come on over. But that's the thing is almost all my clients are very established, regular clientele. So I shift my schedule when their schedule shifts. If they are used to coming at this time and now they've changed shifts and they're working overnights, I come in early in the morning right after I drop my kids off so that they can come in and then go home and go to bed and sleep the whole rest of the day till they go to work, or whatever that may be, you know, and I get to know them and their schedules, and they're very mindful of mine. If I say, hey, I got, you know, a sick kid, or I have something coming up, or I know you booked this, you know, I let my clients book pretty far out. So it's like sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing yet. And I have a special occasion or something. It really goes both ways. Like, I go out of my way to be accommodating to my clientele, but they've been wonderful when I've had things come up to be able to accommodate for me too. So I love the flexibility of it for sure.
And this is something I want to point out because this is something that people get thrown off on because people will tell you, oh, you make your own hours. That's not an accurate statement for personal business ownership. It's not that you can make your own hours because that implies that I can do 3-hour days, 3 days a week and do my job. The implication is you use the right term that I love, is you have the flexibility. You're still probably putting in way more hours than a typical 9-to-5er ever will. The difference is you can shift where you put that.
Yeah.
Because part of it, like you said, is when are people actually able to use my service? Because ultimately it's a luxury good. It's a luxury service. People get off of work at 6 o'clock. That's why you're in at 6:30 on a Friday night. Normal people are sitting there going, well, I want to be off my job, my baker's hours by 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and then go about and then be able to have my weekend, as opposed to, well, this is the difference. Your kids have a play or a show midday. Cool, you can take off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and take care of them, be there for them, be the mom you want to be. But that also means that, I've got to shift over the 4 clients that are normally scheduled in that period. It's going to be a Thursday night. I'm going from 7 to 9 now instead of...
Yeah, for sure. And that is definitely the biggest challenge that I had, is just trying to understand the business dynamic, because I feel like I know my craft and I know it very well. That doesn't mean I'm the best at what I do, but I pride myself in my education and, you know, trying to make sure that I'm providing the best service that I'm possibly capable of. But at the same time, like, I don't know the other side of the coin. So it's like I'm learning what's a good schedule, how many hours should I see, and for myself, like, how many clients can I handle seeing in a day? Is the first person getting the same type of massage the last person is? Because I do feel like it's fair if I'm giving the first half of my clients, you know, my all, and by the end of the day I'm so burnt out that I'm just like half-assing it, you know. So that's not the type of person I am. So it's like I won't schedule more than I feel like I'm capable of, that being even across the board with what I'm capable of doing. And just trying to figure out business-wise, like, how to operate. I do feel like I've definitely got a good thing going for myself. Like, I feel pretty comfortable in it. My day-to-day runs pretty easily. I'm a one-man band, so I have no reception. I have no marketing manager. I have no nothing, because I like to do it all. I like to be the lady in charge. But it works for me because, like you said, you make your own hours, but at the same time, I work more now than I've ever worked in my life, because I physically am doing massage 40 hours a week. Outside of that 40 hours a week, like a full-time job, doing my actual job, I am making content. I am, sometimes laying in bed at 10 o'clock at night and making notes in my phone of like, oh, that's going to be a great idea. Oh, I'd love to do this event. Or just like whenever the inspiration comes, you just got to, take note of that.
Yep.
Reaching out to other businesses on my off hours, like now that I'm done with my regular work day, let's reach out to this person and see if we can do this event together. Or let's, touch base with this business and see if there's something we can work on. Or, I always have projects going on in the background, and I love that because I feel like that keeps my job from becoming a little bit mundane, even though every client is different and every problem they have is different. It just kind of keeps it interesting for me. I travel some for some clients, or to go and, do office chair massage or things like that. I'm in my own space in my treatment room. I'm out somewhere with another business doing an event, and it just keeps it really interesting for sure.
Yeah, I get that, and wanting to keep it interesting and exciting. And when you are the one-man band, God, is that a whole different level of stress. But yeah, there's no off.
There's no off. It's just you're always working, and it's always the wheels are turning in the back of my mind almost all the time.
Yeah.
So
I took the last 4 days off. Monday was the last day I worked last week, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything except for the 2 days that I worked at the other job and da-da-da-da. But I had 3 straight days off where I didn't do anything. They were glorious.
I don't think I could do that. I even work on vacation. I'll be laying on the beach, like messaging clients back.
That I had to do because he who shall not be named, and he's actually probably in the other room right now, he probably called me or texted me like 40 times on Saturday. I'm like, do you really need me? Do you really need me? So I'm never off, with the exception of the Tennessee trips, because Brad will call everybody on the staff and threaten bodily harm to all of my guys and say, call me.
That's a good friend. Yeah.
Do not call him. Added bonus, I'm in the mountains with no reception, so I will leave my phone somewhere and be like, if I get eaten by a bear, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, take me. I've earned the rest. But yeah, that's a whole different animal of, like you said, there's no shut off. You'll be in the bed in the middle of the night, wake up and go, oh, that's a good idea. And you'll type it in your phone, and the real indicator is when you wake up in the morning and you reread the note, if it makes sense.
Exactly.
We're gold. That's like, okay, that I can work with that. That's going to be a good one.
See, I just wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and then just not fall back asleep. I have it all planned out by morning.
Yeah.
I do
You're
that a
ready
lot,
to
too.
execute when the sun's coming up. You're
and
like,
then,
we've got
Then I
this.
asked Dana, and she goes, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
You know what? That's her duty as a wife, is to be bluntly honest with you, though, for sure.
Exactly.
That's all right. But hey, you're going to have more opportunities to test those now because, big things have happened. So
Exactly.
super stoked about that one for you. Let's pause for a minute because I need a drink.
Mm-hmm.
How is it?
Much better.
And
What's the ratios?
And we're back. Here, yeah, what is the ratio?
So we went, where did we go? We went 3 ounces, 3 and 1 this time.
Bourbon to cider.
Oh,
Bourbon to cider.
That
nice.
smells a little more fall to me.
Yes.
This would be a Thanksgiving drink, I can already
What
tell.
does he want?
Did you put more bitters in it? Keep it the same.
I did put more bitters in it. I put an extra 2 shakes in there.
Ooh.
It's just got a touch of the apple now, not all apple.
This is angrier. This is more my kind of drink.
Yeah, agreed.
A little more straight up.
Yeah.
The
I'm kind of a
cider's
hostile
really
person.
just a garnish.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what the cinnamon stick's for.
This is meshes with my level of hostility a lot better. Let's be completely honest here, guys. All right. So, where did we leave off? Do it yourself, flexible schedule.
Yeah.
People don't realize you work more, not less, but you have the ability to shift where you're working, when you're working, and how you're working. So that's definitely nice for sure. So how much time do you think you spend on the back end? Because like you said, you do 40 hours of massage, but what's your back end? How many hours do you think you do of that?
I don't even know if I can count it, to be honest. Like,
It's like not a measurable hour. It's just
kind of
I'm
like,
just doing it.
Yeah, a not measurable hour, because sometimes I kind of like just mentally need a break. And so I'll be done with my, massage side of things for the day. And then I'm like, all right, I got to tap out for a minute, like recollect, get in a better headspace, because not only is it physically tasking, it's a lot of mental as well. Like, I have some clients that come in and they're just there to relax. They don't speak. That's totally fine. And that's great. I have some people that I'm seeing because they're hospice or homebound, and I know what that means, and I know what that is going into that. And that's mentally challenging, because I am making a difference and I love that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, you know what the end result is. It's going to be short term. And that's something you have to take on. You're interacting with the families. They're having a hard time. You kind of end up being another support person for that person and for their family, and mentally take that on whether you try to or not. And other situations like that, you know, I have clients that come in and celebrate great things. They're there because they've just had, you know, they're celebrating a birthday or anniversary, or they tell me they're having their first grandbaby or any of those things. And then sometimes, you know, I have clients for years that have been with me for so long. And then sometimes there's things that are not going well in their life that they share with you too. So sometimes I just need to turn it off at the end of the day for a little bit and then kind of circle back to that. So I feel like it gets hard to keep track of like how long I'm spending on back end things, because sometimes I can get it all done in one day and just put in the hours and just buckle down and do it. And sometimes it takes me several to get something done for sure that shouldn't take as long as it does. But I feel like it's really important to remember that your mental health is important and be able to like recognize those signs of like, okay, it's been super stressful. That other thing is not going to go away. And if I don't get content made and out today, oh, well, who cares? You know, I'm still going to have clients. It's fine. Or if I didn't get this marketing done, or I didn't return this phone call, like it can really wait another day if it needs to wait another day. So sometimes the days are long for sure.
So
It's rewarding though too.
Yeah. You kind of touched on it. You have clients that come in and you almost become a therapist for a lot of people.
It's really true.
And I think that's that way in any service industry, really, whether it be a nail tech, whether it be
I say hairdressers, they know all the gossip.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
Exactly. So it surprises me, and because it's such a medically related field, you know, some of the things you're doing, it surprises me that there's not a module in the training that touches on mental health. Not to make you to where you're evaluating people or, you know, offering a therapy session to them, but
how
maybe
to support them through some of the things,
yes.
because I feel like there's a fine line, right? Like obviously you want to try to have that separation. Like I'm not a therapist, right? But if you're going to share something with me, or, you know, something and it's maybe not good news, or you're just kind of off and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm having a really bad day. Like this happened, that happened, whatever. Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just rude. Or to not acknowledge it is also, I feel like, rude. I, you know, feel like I have a very good connection with my clientele. I know them really well. Some of them have been with me for most of my career. They really start to feel more like family. And we do definitely have a business relationship first. But you know, I know them well enough that I see them out, or I sponsor their kids' sports team, or I sponsor their sports team, or, you know, they support me in my fundraising efforts and things like that and come volunteer and help me with things. Like we really build a better relationship. So it's like, it's hard to not take on like that role a little bit. And I think there does need to be a little bit more recognition for that, or some way to say, hey, you know, like obviously we're not giving advice, we're not going to be their therapist, but at the same time we need to be able to learn a better way to support them through what they're doing and feel like we're making that connection without disregarding it. And then also being able to process that yourself as the person on the other end of it, like receiving that news or those things from people, because I'm someone that's like, sorry, I don't really know how to comfort you, but you know, at the same time it's like, it just definitely can be awkward at times. But like I said, I know my clientele and them well enough that, you know, it's just kind of like you work through it. It's just like, if you need to spend your hour massage just letting out all your stress, or you need to cry, or you need to do whatever, you just need to not talk, or you need to talk it out, whatever you need, like this space and this time is yours, whether it's for the massage specifically, but you're also getting that other aspect of things where like they feel better when they leave because they were able to vent to someone that's a third person, that like party that really doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. Like you want to talk about how you and your family member aren't getting along right now and complain to somebody about it, you go for it. If you want to just take a nap for an hour, you do that too, you know? So
well, and in massage in general, your clients are in a very vulnerable state.
For sure.
You know, so the trust is definitely extremely important. And, you know, I think that brings forth their openness to talk.
For sure.
Their openness. And on the other side, it gives you an opportunity to recognize and go, you know, that really probably should go a little bit further than what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah,
you know?
I am definitely all about, like, giving advice to saying, hey, you know what? Like, that's not my wheelhouse, but, like, I'm never going to give someone medical advice because I'm not a doctor, right? But I will make suggestions in what I think is within my scope of practice. But hey, that's something you should definitely check on. That's something you should definitely ask your doctor about. That's something you should maybe talk to your therapist about, or things like that. Because honestly, that's also my responsibility. Like, I feel, because they're opening up to me about these certain things, and I'm being told this, and I'm recognizing it's a bigger issue that maybe no one else has maybe told them that, or maybe they're just looking for that push to be like, oh yeah, maybe I should go talk to somebody about that. Whether it be mental health, their medical health, whatever. But I feel like it's almost irresponsible to be like, oh yeah, we're just going to brush that under the rug and nobody ever talk about that again. Like, definitely want to stay within the advice that I'm able and capable of giving them. But it's kind of one of those topics you have to tread lightly on for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I like it. Let's see. Where do we want to go from here?
Bingo.
We can jump to bingo.
I think we should go bingo.
I'm excited
bingo.
about That's
bingo.
pretty chipper. This is a personal favorite thing that you do of
Yes,
mine.
for sure.
All right, break into it. Small business bingo. Give us the rundown, what you're doing, how it started. Go into the nitty gritty.
So, Small Business Bingo is my fundraising efforts that I started. It kind of just started because I am involved with some of the other nonprofits and kind of do some volunteer work, or I'm a board member for Shining Star for the Children's Advocacy. And I've just been able to see a lot of behind the scenes of what these organizations do. And I feel like so many people in our area don't realize what nonprofits we have. If they do, or they've heard of them, they don't exactly know what they do. I personally realized just like the cost and the funding that goes into keeping these organizations running, and how many funding cuts there were about the same time that I was kind of coming up with this idea. And I wanted to be able to do something that could showcase what small businesses are capable of and what we can do, because we're awesome. And bring the community together to be able to get more recognition for these nonprofits and to be able to benefit the nonprofits themselves. And I had already been kind of dabbling with events a little bit for the sake of my own businesses. Profit, I would collaborate with these other businesses, bring them in. We do like a make and take. We do an educational thing. And I was able to fill all of those classes, and those were going really well. And that was maybe, 20 to 25 people, small scale, and that was doing really well. So I wanted to kind of take that aspect and that idea and see how big I could take that and how big I could make that to be able to do something good for our community. So I had the idea of, I just wanted something simple and something fun and something that I feel like everybody knows how to play bingo, or you can learn really quickly. It's not rocket science. So if you don't know how to play, you can learn in about 5 minutes. I like bingo. I'm kind of biased because I think bingo is super fun and I love to go to bingo. So
I just want to be the bingo caller.
Oh, I need somebody for the November event. So
I'll do it.
Oh, I'm so excited. Look how productive this has been.
I have a confession, because this will be my, 7th one I'm going to be helping with now?
9th.
9th one that I've been helping with now.
I've roped him into all of them so far. And Brad, too. He doesn't know yet, but he's also going to be there. So.
I loathe bingo on every level.
Well, then we're just not talking to Matt anymore. He does put in some pretty hard work, I will say. And I get a little bit... I don't want to say crazy. I get pretty anxious behind the scenes. I'm not anymore, but the first several events...
I show up with drinks.
Any
I go to the
single
bars like,
person that
Ashley
had to
needs
deal with
something.
me was probably a little stressed too, because I was very stressed. But I just wanted to create something super fun, and I had no idea how it was going to go. I remember planning for my first bingo, and I was like, okay, maybe if I can get like 50 or 60 people come, that'd be super awesome. We had over 200. We had well over 200. It was insane. We outgrew our first venue, which is an amazing problem to have. Then I had to pivot so quickly. I had no budget for another venue, and everything just kind of fell into place. Somehow the pieces all just came together, and we just rolled with it. And I don't know, I just feel like it was a whirlwind, but it was great. People loved it. I had a great response from the community. I had a great response from the businesses, because how it all works is I host it. Everything is sponsored. So I have someone, Jessica Morris, sponsored all the bingo cards. A couple different people, they donated the bingo daubers. Jillian Wise helped me last year kind of we were running out of supplies because they were so used. And she's like, everyone has just jumped in and been like, what do you need? I have venue sponsors. All of the bingo prizes are from small businesses here in Rochelle that have graciously donated so many cool things, or made raffle baskets, which was something I didn't even expect. It was just something that they're like, oh, I just wanted to do more, so I made this really awesome basket. I'm like, all right, now we're going to do raffles too. Let's raise even more money. And it's just been so fun to see how many people have jumped on the train and gotten involved along the way over my one little crazy idea that I had. I have people that volunteer and come help me set up during the day. Poor Matt, who loathes bingo. And honestly, the whole downrange staff, I really owe Matt a lot because he shuts down the shop early and his staff comes and works for me. So I get to take over downrange for the evening.
We're AP part 2.
Yeah, AP part 2.
The events, every event is a blast. I might not enjoy bingo proper, but I love the people that go. I
Yeah.
love everybody there. When I get to be one of the card readers is like the highlight of my evening.
Yeah, well, you're going to be doing it again, so there you go. Everyone's
I know,
happy.
because I get to go, kind of talk to everybody and mingle and work the crowd, and it's actually a ton of fun. And if you don't go and have a great time, like the bingo does nothing for me, but the people, the excitement, how anxious the little blue hair ladies that are like, stop talking.
Some people get serious about it. You don't
Yeah, they
know.
do.
I go to like bingo hall bingo, and that's serious. And that's why I wanted this to be fun. I want you to be able to come if you're one of those serious bingo players. I'll put you up front where no one else is going to bother you. I have people that specifically ask to be seated by the bar because they're having a good time, and I'm here for it. I love it. So it's like I wanted to do so many things. I feel like there's so many aspects to this. It's like something fun, something everybody can learn, something inexpensive, right? Like bingo, other than the cost to get it off the ground, was the most expensive thing. Now my most expensive dynamic is the venue because I can only host it in the flight deck hangar, which is great. They have been more than wonderful to work with for all these events. We only have one large scale event, a place to be able to host these for the venue. And it's like, where else would I have this? That's the only place. So I love that Ashley's so great to work with. Her staff is awesome. They jump in and help me with things during the day when I'm there trying to set up and wherever I need help, which is awesome.
Yeah, because what's your body count now?
Around 300 or more. We got closer to 350 towards the end of things last year.
Yeah, because the first one, like you said, you started at like 2 and change. I'm like, oh yeah, we need to show exactly. We definitely need to talk about the sheer volume of number of people, because that's why you had to pivot so quick, because that 200 was 200 for like 4 seconds, and then it was just through the roof.
It's definitely grown every single time. We have seen it continue to grow and grow and grow. So it's like. And we've been a little close and a little tight on, like, we've definitely still had room at the hangar, but we set up for what we anticipate, and we're like scooting into more tables and chairs towards the end. It's like, okay, I love that though. I love to see it grow. And not only are the businesses donating the prizes, a lot of them are then they're playing bingo. So they donated, they volunteered their time, they came and helped me set up, they pay then to come support the cause, and they're there playing bingo. A lot of the same people come and reserve tables every single time. So I kind of know the crowd and a lot of the people that are coming, and I love the feedback. I'm always open to feedback. I want to be teachable always. If you have a great time, tell me. If you have a suggestion, tell me. I'm not offended. I would love to be able to make it the best event I can, and I've really tried to take everything I can away, like from each event, to be able to make it better. When we ran out of room, I got a bigger venue. When it was going to be cold and snowy because we had to push it back well into the season, I got a bus to be able to bring people up to the front door. Like, we've made so many accommodations for people through this, and being able to just keep rolling with the punches. And I definitely feel like I've done my part in being able to solve each and every hurdle, like, that we've come up to and get past those challenges. But it's just a really good time. And then all the money raised at the door, 100% of what people paid at the door for their costs or the raffle tickets goes to the organizations at the end of the night. So I started with one apiece. Now they're usually split between 2 organizations because they've grown so much, and I've been able to raise more money. I want to be able to spread that out as much as I can spread that out. So we started the first year with helping 4 organizations. The next year we helped 9. And last year I helped 10. Just because I like to add another element. So we did a toy drive. So even though like Can didn't receive funds from the bingo that we did that evening that we did the toy drive, I had a whole van full of toys to donate to their local shopping trip to the kids to kind of help with some of that. And then we did a food drive for the food pantry, who didn't receive the funds from the night that we did that. But we filled 2 carloads of, canned goods and things to help fill their holiday boxes. And so I just keep trying to push the boundaries with how much is too much. Like, the bingo's fun and it's great and it's inexpensive. We have great prizes. If you win anything, you've won more than the money you came to pay, for your tickets. So I feel like that's what makes it really appealing to people too, is I do have really great stuff, really great prizes. These businesses have been super, super generous. So if you haven't come to bingo yet, make sure you check it out this year.
Can confirm I go through all their stuff before we put it out.
It's awesome
stuff.
I feel like a kid at Christmas when I'm getting these donations. I do, and they're not even for me. I'm like, oh, the people are gonna love this. This is just like the coolest thing. We've had some really creative things and some really awesome raffles and gift certificates and giveaways, and I just feel like we all really need to kind of have that sense of community right now. I feel like we're just in a crazy world, and things just feel so distant between so many people for so many reasons that, like, it's just my little bit of hope, right? Like, we're doing good. Everyone feels good about doing good. You're there having a good time with whoever you came with, or if you came alone, we're all gonna be friends by the end of the night, because I'm gonna put you with someone that I know hopefully is gonna be a friendly person for you to be with, and everyone's gonna have a good time. And there's people there that are from every walk of life. It's just the most random group of people that are there, and I love it because I feel like anyone can come. You've spent your couple hours. You've had a great night out with your friends. You hopefully ate dinner and supported the restaurant, had a drink at the bar, won some great bingo prizes, and it's just a good time. And just to see everyone come together, and they're either participating or they donated or they're working the event, and we're all there for the same mission and are able to accomplish so much. And it's just really cool to see the funds that we raise at the end of the night, because every single person that participated, like, it's literally not possible without the bodies that are there in the seats and the people that show up for this event. It would be a flop. So I really, really appreciate everyone that continues to support, and some of them have been to every single event I've had so far. And I really contribute that to the fact that I think everyone feels good about what they're doing. Their $15 they paid to play bingo goes so far when we're all there. You know, like, you probably wouldn't typically send a check off for $15 to one of the charitable organizations, because you're like, what difference is it going to make? It's not enough. Like, I think we need to get out of the mindset that we have to do just this big grand gesture to be able to make a difference, because I had one little idea that I thought was going to hopefully take off and some people would want to come play, and I never even thought I'd see 100 people at these events, and I have hundreds. And last year we raised $37,000. Well, actually that was the 2 years collectively, because they kind of rolled over into each other. But that's how much we've put into the nonprofits with these events so far. And I know, like, to me that is a ton of money. My goal is just to keep it rolling and see how far we can take it, because in the grand scheme of things, that is a lot of money to me. But in these organizations and how much it's been spread out, it's really necessary. It's needed to keep the doors open and let them provide the services that they need. And it's more than just raising the money. It's raising awareness about what they do, because now some people have actually started volunteering for some of these organizations, because now they know that there are opportunities for that, or they never knew that these are the type of services that they offered, because they've heard of them, but they never really had an understanding of what it was. So I'm really, really, really proud of what we've all been able to accomplish as a community together, because I can't take credit for that on my own. Like, it was my idea. I've put in more man hours with this than I even do in my business in the week. To be perfectly honest, it is a huge undertaking for one person to do everything behind the scenes, and then day of have my volunteers show up and kind of help run the show. But it's definitely worth every second that I've put into it, for sure.
What a great opportunity for a Salvation Army date night, you know, where you go and pick somebody else's clothes, get a group of friends together, and, you know, or wear random costumes.
I would love to see some themes. I would love to see some themes.
Absolutely.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah. I think it's fun. It's so fun. You know, we do have some people that show up with, like, their lucky bingo daubers or their, like, little lucky troll charms. I am here for it. I love it. And just to see the excitement from people. And last year I did decide that was going to maybe be the end of bingo. I was like, all right, we've done a lot. We've had a good run. We're going to let it go. And I kind of announced that. And the feedback I got was just so overwhelming with, like, when's the next bingo? What do you mean? Like, is it over? I don't understand. Like, we love it. And I don't want to let the people down. Okay. So if people are still going to want to come and participate, I absolutely want to keep these going. I just felt like I don't want to take a good thing and beat it to death. And I don't want to do it until no one's interested anymore, because I love what it is. And I love how it feels being part of that. So I am only doing 2 events this year because of that. I feel like I want to make it a little bit more special, you know, like, there's only going to be 2 events, because honestly doing 4 a year so close together was a lot for me. I started to see how much it was on the businesses, because let's be honest, the economy's not great, right? A lot of my small business friends, their businesses are, some of them struggling. Some have closed their doors since last year. They've gone home based. There's different aspects. And I don't want to put so much on the small businesses because, yes, they have been more than generous, even when they were maybe struggling in their own, in their own business financially. And they've still given so much to these events. And I don't want to put that on the businesses. I need to be able to scale back a little bit for my own sake, for what I feel like I can keep up with, and give my all and not make it feel more like a chore, because I want it to continue to be fun. My volunteers, poor Matt has worked his butt off apparently till he's burnt out on bingo.
I was burnt out on bingo before you started. That's not a you thing. I have a great time at everyone, and we will continue.
You will continue to have a great time.
Always be at those
and
events.
Shane's gonna call bingo, so it's gonna be
Shane's
great.
gonna call bingo.
And now it's on here. You're
It
held
is.
to
And
it.
if we get enough people that say, I'll wear a costume, we'll give a prize away for best costume.
I love
or
that.
best table. Maybe the best table.
Best table.
Best dress table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best dress
We
table.
have a lot of reservations. That's the thing. Is like I have a ton of people that come with maybe 2 or 3 other people, or they come by themselves because they just don't want to miss out, and that's totally great. But I have a lot of large reservations, and I was really surprised by that. That's not something I anticipated initially, and then I started having people like. After the first one, I realized, like, we're going to have to do something about this because there might not be 6 seats at one table, or there might not be space for this. So I do reservations for that, too. So I love the idea of, like, any theme you want. You can pick the theme, and your table can just run wild with it. Yep. I love that. That would be so fun.
Dana, remind me.
Yeah.
That's what wives are for, yes.
Wait, when does this one go? Next week? When do I got to post this one? Yeah, it's next week.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 days to edit this one.
So yeah, the next bingo is going to be November 6th. So it's a Thursday night. Switching things up a little bit since I'm only doing 2. Thursdays work best for me, and obviously I have to be able to be available. But I know Thursdays don't work for a lot of people. I've been asked to try to pick another day. We did some Mondays last year, and because of board meetings and things falling on that day that I was kind of unaware of, we just didn't have as big of a crowd. We still had a great crowd, but it just definitely fluctuated a little bit. So we're going to do November 6th, which is a Thursday, and then we're going to do December 2nd, which is a Tuesday. So they're going to be about a month apart instead of them being 2 to 3 weeks apart, just the 2 events. Give me more time in between to like recollect and then be able to get back out there and get donations from the other businesses. And everybody's not giving so much right before the holidays. So I really wanted to be able to scale back to kind of take the pressure off the businesses that are donating, give myself enough time, give people enough time, because the holiday time is crazy. Like we've all got family plans going on, all kinds of stuff, trying to get together before the holidays so that we can do stuff with our own immediate families during those times, work parties, all kinds of stuff. So you could host your work party at bingo. Come on out.
It will
Get a
be
table.
you're going to have a great time
Yeah.
no matter what.
Exactly. Whatever you're there for, it's going to be a good time for sure.
We need a Kylo replacement. We need your new Vanna White to give the prizes to people and run them up to the stage.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somebody for that position too. So, yeah. Oh, Dana. Shane's volunteering
Congrats.
you,
It
Dana.
sounds like 926 custom.
No.
No.
Nope,
Something
we got a new-
apparel.
we have a
what
new
was the new?
Crafted.
crafted apparel.
Crafted apparel.
Yes.
Sorry, the new name is. I'm slow. I don't know what my own company's name
Rebranding,
is.
refreshing, right? That's what we all need in our lives
Yep.
sometimes.
We do need a little refreshing. But
Yeah.
so it sounds like you've got a new regular pair of volunteers.
Oh, I love it.
Going
do it.
forward.
Perfect.
Downrange in 926.
There you go.
Yep, y'all work for me now. No. Little do you know.
I'm okay with that. I got no issues with that.
So yeah, definitely. I'm super excited about it. So just getting all the wheels turning behind the scenes. I feel like I have a pretty good, well-oiled machine. Like I kind of know what to expect day of, but I've definitely been putting together my volunteer list. I've been, kind of starting to put feelers out there for donors for the prizes. I have my venue sponsors, which is the first thing that I had to come up with. Obviously, I can't put anything out there till I know I have that secured. And I've been working on all kinds of fun things behind the scenes, and I can't wait to start collecting my donations and getting excited and putting sneak peeks and stuff out there for everyone. I did make Small Business Bingo its own Facebook page this year to kind of separate that from my business, because it definitely takes over my whole business page when
It
it's
still
bingo
will.
time. It probably still will a little bit, but I definitely want some separation there, because it's not meant to try to bring attention to my business. I'm not even accepting new clients right now because I just am steady busy with what I have, and I want to be fair to who I have and the clientele that I already have, and be able to get them in when they need and want to get in, and not say, sorry, I just have too many people, I can't see you for 2 months. So I don't want it to be seen as that, and I want the people that are on my business page, on my Facebook, to be able to see things relevant to my business and updates, or if I do happen to have an opening. And it's just easier to Small Business Bingo has grown enough now. It really needs its own space because if we're going to continue it on, that just be a good hub for people can be looking forward through the year of like, hey, what are we doing? Like maybe I'll do a spring one. I don't know. I might get crazy. I did that last year. I did a spring one and I did 2 in the winter and then 1 after the new year, and just kind of trying to play around with finding the best time of year to host and whenever the venue's available, and just kind of roll with the punches a little bit with that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Find it on Facebook because I definitely love to get the word out there and start having people share that and get all the details for bingo.
I dig it. I'm super excited. It's a great event. If you've never been, show up. If you have been, show up again. I will come harangue you. Shane will roast you from the stage because he's now going to be a host. Super excited. Super excited for that.
Little comedy show beforehand. Not really that funny, though.
I was going to say, I'm like, that's why I haven't volunteered for it.
It's Shane's big break.
I've had moments where I can be kind of comical, but I'm like, I don't think I want to MC one of these events. I've been to all of them. I'm not sure ready.
I definitely don't want to have to be the one to MC it. I will say that was my biggest challenge out of anything is like, I already had to put myself out there a little bit to start my business, which I'm normally someone that is just very kind of like kept to myself within my own kind of group of people. And I don't like the spotlight, and I don't like recognition, and I don't like having to get up there in front of that many people. So when that many people showed up for the first event, I was like, this is way more than I bargained for.
So that's sure. What Matt and I were talking about with this. I'm extremely uncomfortable doing this.
Yeah.
But
Are you really?
Yeah, but put me in a crowd, like in front of a crowd, you know, with like the water ski stuff in front of a tournament. I can ramble, I can make crap up, I can entertain, I can make people laugh. But this being so intimate is just, it's
co-host.
And that's definitely where I'm more comfortable. Definitely where I'm more comfortable versus being out there. So it's not only like, it's also helped me be able to grow personally because I've just had to learn to be comfortable with it. Because once this took off, it took off. And I'm like, I got to be up there for a few minutes, give my quick little spiel, be like, hey guys, thanks for coming. But then I went off that stage as quick as I can be. So I love to be able to let someone that wants to and likes that and enjoys that element to be the one to be up there and interacting with the crowd and just making it fun and lively for everyone and, you know, just kind of joking around or like, you know, I don't want it to be serious. So I really enjoy having someone or volunteers to be able to call bingo that want to be part of it because it's a lot more fun for them than me being like, oh, how much longer is this going to last? How long do I have to be up here on this stage, you know?
I dig it. Any more questions?
I have nothing.
You got nothing?
No. I'm out of it tonight.
This was a slow co-hosting day. You had a couple of good ones in there, but this was a slower co-hosting day.
It's been a
stressful
mindful couple of weeks.
Stressful. There's
It's
a lot compiled. We'll call it that. A lot on your plate.
Yes, there was a lot of even flow.
Yeah.
A lot of on Friday, but then a lot of on Friday night.
And then after the weekend, we're all coming back down on a Monday, kind of like, back to reality.
Yeah.
I thought my Monday was going to start good, and I was like, nope, train wreck, followed by another train wreck, followed by another train wreck, followed by, okay, the day has improved. And the best sales I've had in 3 months. It's been a weird day.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's been a weird day. Cool. AP, thank you for showing up. Did we announce in the last one your new announcement? We've
talked about it, but for those that haven't heard, 926 Custom Embroidery is now 926 Crafted Apparel. Dana and I took sole ownership last Friday, and a lot of changes in the works and growing, some surprises along the way.
Congratulations. So happy for you guys. You're now, you get to, it's a whole new compliment here for the downtown, which I'm super stoked for.
It is. The new logo is awesome. I'm like super excited about the logo.
I haven't seen it yet, have I?
No, I'll show you after this.
Yes.
Awesome.
Suckers!
Lots of good things coming for you guys.
Absolutely.
AP, besides Small Business Bingo, anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. You know, just kind of thanks for having me on. Let me talk about my business a little bit, kind of how those things are going, how that came about, and then all my fundraising stuff. I love getting a plug for that for sure because I'm always out there hitting the pavement for that for sure.
I dig it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like, share, especially for small business. Subscribe. That's a good one, yeah. We are on YouTube and Spotify. The more of those that you put your little likey thing and then show that it was followed and listened to or watched or whatever, is the better off for everything here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Super stoked. Again, Smoke Eater for a sponsor. That would be wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.